They dropped a lot of information today. A lot. We're going to start here. Look at this. See, look. They know what's coming. They want a part of it. They want to thrive, right? And every chance that they get lately, they're telling us in a variety of ways that they did not want the legacy system. They want DLT. They want utility coin technology, period. That's what they want. This article is titled Merchants, right? Merchants demand value. They're demanding it. They demand value at every touch point from their payment processors. You do know what this means, right? The legacy system can't provide that. So what are they asking for? Come on. And this is why we're beginning to see the feeding frenzy. It hasn't, what they covered yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, that's just a little bit. When those trillions come flooding in, those prices are going to explode through the roof. My humble opinion, not financial advice. There's no way around this. See, a lot of us are looking just at the top. Big business money, B2B, but it's not that. Do not, and I've said this before, do not forget about the small and medium-sized businesses. You know what's interesting? I saw someone make a post, and someone was they were talking about how, and this is from their experience, how they're witnessing a lot of small businesses struggling once they're able to adopt these technologies, DLT, that's affordable. Then on top of that, maybe they dabble in staking, but also they'll have global reach. Then we're talking full automation. Listen, what we're talking about in the next, I'll say next 3 to 5 years, things are moving so fast. I'm going to say 3 to 5 years. Those small businesses will not be struggling. Two things are going to happen. One, those businesses are going to thrive. They're going to have their golden age, right? That's a possibility. That's what I'm leaning towards. One, and two, because of all of these different small businesses, and there will be a great multitude more that come into existence because of this, because of the opportunity. They're going to flood these chains, or whichever of these Bitcoin companies are involved, whichever ones are wise, they're going to flood them with capital. It's going to be increasing over an extended period of time. If you're doing well, that's just how it is. They have so much room for growth. But here, once again, let's go back to the article. Merchants are demanding value at every touch point. Now, why didn't they demand this before? Last year, the year before that. Let me pause the video. Sorry about that. It's a video here. If I would have known that, maybe we should have done a reaction to the video. They're talking about the evolution of payments. Payments, this is what it says in the highlight section. Payments are becoming part of broader customer-centric experiences with value-added services like fraud tools, analytics, and seamless interfaces now critical. Now that customer-centric right there is going to be powerful. Can you imagine when these utility coin companies are integrated into the greater part of society and customers walking in the stores, instead of getting these tiny rewards that are nothing? You use your card at these stores, and if you use them for like a year, maybe they give you a candy bar. give you a candy bar. All that money you spent, maybe they might give you a pizza. That's wrong. Those stores, I don't care. Those stores are wrong for that. But can you imagine some people, if they're fully integrated into the utility coin system, new financial system, and now you spend some money at a store, maybe you get a little bit of XRP. Maybe you get a little bit of as rewards, just like staking and delegating. Maybe they give you a few Solana or something like that. I'm just throwing stuff out. It could be anything. But I mean, is that out of the question? Customers would love that, wouldn't they? And it would have nothing to do with the store. The store loses nothing. It's just like what you saw with, like, take a system like Flare as an example. You're holding stuff on chain. At least this is how it used to be. I don't know if it's still like this. I'm pretty sure it is. But you hold something on chain, you delegate it or you stake it, and every once in a while you get your rewards, your delegation rewards, your staking rewards. Was there something else they were giving out? Oh, like the airdrops, stuff like that. Why can't stores? Stores could do that. Or they could participate in it. Once again, it doesn't affect the store negatively at all. But what it does, it makes the customers happy. Do you believe that both the businesses as well as the providers of these services don't know that? That brings in more business? The banks know that also. That's another thing. The banks know that they're going to exploit it. People can call them a lot of things, but what they're not dumb at is making capital, making that capital flow. Can the banking system, the financial system, be highly irresponsible? Yes. But they know how to bring in that value for sure. Maximize. They know how to max it out, and they have the connections to do it. Folks, there's no way this golden age isn't much bigger than what we're thinking. But let's continue on. It says companies. And then they reference some companies here offering turnkey VAS, which is value-added services. That's the acronym they're using now. This is with third-party platforms to serve global enterprises. We already know about that. This is the key right here. This is the part that's important. Small businesses. See, I haven't forgotten about the small businesses. The Bankcoin companies haven't forgotten about the small businesses. Anybody who's a moneymaker is looking at everything that was everything that was fragile, everything that was viewed as a weakness in the system, and looking at it as an opportunity. Why? Because there's possibility of growth there. Growth. Those small businesses will rapidly become medium-sized businesses if they're wise. And once again, all the tools are about to be handed to them. There's never been anything like this time period coming up. When I was younger, you didn't have the opportunity to even think of buying a robot for your, let's say you have a smaller storage area. I wouldn't even call it a warehouse, smaller storage area. That didn't even exist. There was no AI. There was no partial automation. You had to do everything. There was no saving costs unless you knew somebody in the industry and buy this particular product. Maybe they give you a percentage off over time because you've been doing business for so long. But other than that, you weren't going to save a massive amount of capital. Now people are about to be handed this opportunity. It's up to them if they use it or not. But 100%. The Bankcoin companies, this is why they're continuously doing these interviews. They're happy. Oh, we have all these deals. Not that they're dropping any names. Oh, we have all these deals. We've done partnerships. Really? But wouldn't it be unwise to believe there's only the big partnerships? I want to stop actually thinking of big and small. There's nothing small here. When you gather up all of those small businesses, we're talking a ton of continuous value flow into any of these Bankcoin companies. Now, let me stop there because there's much more. Like I said, there was a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed this video. I feel better today than I felt in a long time. I feel like I'm back in the flow. I always have these ups and downs, stuff like that. I still do my best, but I feel like I'm on an upswing now, with the flow of how my mind is processing things. All right. So now look at this. More evidence. If this doesn't make people bullish, I don't know what will. This article is titled Pilant raises. Wait, let me scroll to the top. Let me try not to lose my spot. Pilant. Oh my word. I messed up. Just forget I said that. Pliant raises $40 million to bring B2B payments offering to the U.S. Forget the company. The company is not what's important here. You see it? I know you see it. $40 million to bring B2B payments offering to the U.S. So just from the title alone, although we can delve into the article and we will, from the title alone, it lets you know that B2B in the United States is wide open for the taking. Who does B2B payments the best? Right now, Ripple will be out front. You have Ripple, you have Solana, you have Stellar, you have Chainlink. You got a lot of them. Algorand is in there. Any of these Bitcoin companies that step forward, and seems like, and we've heard Ripple speak about this multiple times over the years, which means what? This proves that is there for the taking. Money is on the table. They can take it, folks. Trillions. Listen now. Just listen to how they're putting everything together. That's going to be important also here. So this is what they're saying. It says, quote, B2B payments remain one of the most underserved and inefficient areas in global finance. That means anyone who solved this problem, first of all, yes, once again, is money there for the taking. And anyone who solves these problems, or rather whoever solves it the best, can take the most value. The bank coin companies are up front. They're the ones being unleashed. Why didn't B2B absorb the legacy system offerings? Because they don't want it, which means they're waiting on something else. DLT. Yes, we always arrive at this conclusion. That's a good thing. That means we're on the right track. If we were always arriving at a different conclusion, would mean that we're not on the right track. We need to start asking some questions. Now, back to this here. This is huge. I'd love to hear about B2B because I'm here for the trillions. That bank money, yes, but also B2B is in there. NBFIs, right? We're going to take a lot of those legacy system NBFIs. They're going to come to us for sure. RWA. Oh, yeah, I get excited for a few things for sure. But wait. There's more. Let me know. I'm trying not to lose my spot. Still hindered. They're telling us again. They're telling everybody out there again. Is this not potent information? Still hindered. They haven't solved it yet. Still hindered by manual processes, opaque infrastructure. I like how they phrase that. And slow settlement cycles, unquote. This is coming from someone named Konstantin Koenig. That's a strong name right there, Konstantin. I was just reading a lot about Konstantin, actually. Very, very interesting life, to say the least, right? We know about Konstantin. So this is the person who's principal at Illuminate Financial, which helped lead the Series B. This is what they said in their release. Okay, so now here's another thing. So clearly there is a lot of geopolitical tension between, this Western powers. Also, it seems that the USA is leaning heavily towards giving their own companies some sort of opportunities. So I'm trying to phrase it as neutrally as I can. Do you believe, just outright, do you believe that this company can compete with the bank coin companies who have been planting seeds all over the U.S. for the longest time? Don't get me wrong. A lot of these companies are global, but they've been planting seeds for years and years and years in the U.S. They have great relationships, both with large banks and large companies, mid-sized companies, with government officials, although in the past they've had some friction there. But at the same time that they had friction, there was also positive things going on as well. Just like when they were involved with, what was that called? Faster Payments Council, Faster Payments Task Force. So there was always that positive aspect there. It just wasn't highlighted greatly. I don't think that they're going to be take anything from the bank coin companies whatsoever. But this is great information to show that there's so much opportunity here that even outsiders are looking at this and saying, whoa, we could feast. Not only can we feast here, but it's worth raising 40 million. If it's worth raising 40 million, then there's much, 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 much more that they actually stand to bring in, right? All right, so now let's stop there with that one. I told you there's a lot. We got a lot of good news today. That's another reason. I like when there's exciting news happening. It helps my flow a little bit better. It helps my energy a little bit better. So now, here we go. We're getting more thoughts from powerful entities about Bitcoin. Standard Chartered says, buy Bitcoin now. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Buy Bitcoin, quote, now, unquote, sees rally to $120,000 in Q2. That'd be fun. I'm telling you, that's at the point I start looking at Bitcoin sideways. Mm-hmm. How far are we going, Bitcoin? That's about the time I start having a little bit of fun with Bitcoin. I'm just letting you know. All right. Standard Charter's Jeffrey Kendrick predicts a new Bitcoin all-time high around $120,000 in Q2, fueled by strategic reallocation away from U.S. assets. Is that possible? Yes. Do I expect a lot of that to go into gold? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Second bullet point says, Kendrick says, quote, now, unquote, is the time to buy Bitcoin and maintains his $200,000 year-end 2025 target. Wow, okay. He's super bullish on Bitcoin. Let's continue on here. Sorry, something got in my eye. Bitcoin is expected to hit a fresh all-time high of around 120,000 in the second quarter, driven. Why do they repeated it? I didn't do that. They repeated that. Okay, so let me skip that portion there. Quote, a number of indicators support our view that Bitcoin is headed for the next leg higher, unquote, Kendrick said in a new report published Monday and shared with the block. Bear with me one moment. I need to enlarge this a little bit. It's the coloring of this website. It's just making it a little bit hard to see the lettering. I know you're like, make us your eyes. No, it's the website. I'm blaming it on the website. Hey, it might even be you. You're the reason I'm having a hard time seeing this little letter here. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, don't take offense. I'm just playing, babe. I'm just playing, folks. All right. So now back to this. I made the font a little bit bigger. So now, quote, U.S. Treasury term premium, which has a close correlation to Bitcoin, is at a 12-year high. Time of day analysis suggests that U.S.-based investors may be seeking non-U.S. assets. Okay. Meanwhile, Bitcoin accumulation by, quote, whales, unquote, major holders has been strong. Yes, wait, but you have to clarify. Now, what the professional companies have been reporting, if I'm seeing correct, the retail whales, if we can call them that, they were selling for a while. Let's just call it what it is. They were selling for a while. The whales that you're talking about that are propping everything up are companies. We saw reports, multiple come out recently, where companies are the big buyers now. Companies are taking over Bitcoin, and that's not a bad thing if you're a moneymaker. Now, if you're into Bitcoin for something else, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't control these things. But if you're a moneymaker, then this is great because it's going to have that gold effect. Once again, the big companies will continuously buy. They have the capital to do it. They have the motivation to do it. They have the ability to pump the price if they want to, and it will continue to boost Bitcoin's price up in a more permanent way, or I should say a semi-permanent way, as opposed to before where the volatility is astronomical. I don't think in the future times. Well, let me rephrase that. I believe there's a high possibility that in future times, you'll see much less volatility out of Bitcoin because of that activity there. If things continue to go this way. But let's continue on here. Once again, they say, quote, the correlation breakdown and U.S. buying suggests that U.S. investors are seeking non-U.S. assets, unquote. He reiterates that. Asian investors have also started buying Bitcoin, reinforcing the trend. Yeah, and you can see that coming from a mile away. In certain areas, obviously, they're having a lot of problems with their financial systems. And like I said, globally, the banking system, watch the banks globally, they're having problems. And people see that and they're saying, wait a minute, let me protect some of my value and diversify, right? They're diversifying a little bit into gold, a little bit into Bitcoin. I think a little bit more is going into gold, but some is going into Bitcoin as well. And so we're seeing that all over the place right now. I think that's going to continue for a little bit of time. I don't think it's going to be very long, but I think for a little bit of time. And it just depends on the conditions geopolitically in the world, really. So now, it says, meanwhile, quote, whale investors, those holding more than 1,000 Bitcoin, have been accumulating through both, the certain things that are going on between the countries, right? They're all throwing these things at each other. You know what I'm talking about? It says whales also heavily bought during past major rallies, including Silicon Valley Bank collapse, Bitcoin ETF approvals, and various political things that were occurring, signaling that this period could be just as pivotal for Bitcoin's next move, according to Kendrick. It says, while, quote, timing breakouts in Bitcoin is not easy, unquote, Kendrick wrote in an email sharing the report. He emphasized that, quote, how, unquote, is the time to buy as a topside move builds. Kendrick maintains his year-end price target of $200,000. Well, I think now more than ever, is very much tied to Bitcoin and crypto becoming more and more legitimized. It's going to become easier to watch catalysts that are serious catalysts that are very close to a guarantee that is going to move that price. And because of that, I think a lot of big money is banking on that as well. That's why you're seeing all of these movements and a lot of big money purchasing Bitcoin, propping that price up, making it very, very resilient, which once again, I say is a great sign. But now I have 3 more articles, but we only have time for one. So let's see. Do we want to talk about banks? I have a bank article. I have another bank coin article. Bear with me one moment, folks. You know what? Why not? Let's do a little Solana. Little Solana news. Why not? All right. So why is it doing that? This article is titled Venture Capital Firm Invest $50 million in Solana-based decentralized AI project. Wow. A venture capital giant is reportedly investing tens of millions of dollars into a Solana-based decentralized artificial intelligence project. Venture capital firm Paradigm is investing close to $50 million into AI startup Noose. Noose Research. Noose. Really? To understand that spelling, okay, so that may sound strange. I just thought about that. It may sound strange on camera. Not that type of news. Nous research, Noose Research. That's like an esoteric word. It's a very rare word. Right? Anyway, continuing on. You start to see words like noose and Numina, things like that. That's very esoteric. That's interesting. I wonder who runs this place. Anyway, it says here, a firm that specializes in human-centric language models and AI research, bringing its token valuation up to $1 billion, reports Fortune. All right. There's a lot of big companies bullish on Solana. According to Fortune, Noose Research plans to utilize artificial intelligence to train its open source language models as a means of eventually competing with top AI firms such as OpenAI and DeepSeek. I mean, you're always shooting for the stars, right? I say just have a good product. Come out and do your own thing. Look how fast DeepSeek became successful, got a solid foothold in everything. Just make sure you have a good product. It continues on here. However, one difference in the firm's approach compared to the traditional one is that Noose wants to train AI models in a decentralized manner. Okay. Using spare computing capacity from around the globe rather than train their models in a central data center. All right. So there you have it, folks. So hope you all are doing fantastic out there. I hope your families are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're living life, and I hope you're living it good. I hope you're living it well. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the Monday.